So I wanted to come back to this game and share some of the things with it. With the announcement of Division 3, I was kind of inspired to come back to play what I feel is the better of the franchise. The first one really hit hard, especially with the, you know, later we've run through an actual pandemic of our own. But I never really felt the second one captured the essence of the franchise. The second one's a fun game, but I almost feel like the people that created the game, the second game, never played the first. There's some awesome elements that were not carried over. The eeriness of the first game is not there in the second. You have more of a military group that you're up against, rather than, I don't know. To me, I almost feel like 2 should have been 3, and there should have been something between 1 and 2. I felt 2 kind of rushed the story, whereas there was still some grittiness left to tell with the first one. I don't think they ever really. I don't know. I felt there was so much more that could have been done with the first one, and I felt that instead of creating a whole new game, they should have stuck with expansions off the first game. Because the one thing that this game, and not that there's only one thing, there's many things, but the one thing that this game did overall better than the second game was, it, to me, it engrossed you into the character that you created. Like, I have 4 characters on this one. This is actually my 4th character, and I realized that I never actually finished the open world content. I was in a clan at the time. We rushed through all the missions. I rushed through the leveling, but I never did all the open world stuff. So that's kind of what I logged in the other day and just played for like an hour, finishing up some of the stuff. So my first 2 characters, they've completed everything. They have all the phones, all the collector stuff, even in the underground. They both finished the underground. My 3rd character finished everything on the top, and I think it's like halfway through the underground. And this one here, I never finished gathering all this stuff. So that's kind of what I was doing. I just logged in and played for like an hour. But each one of these characters, as odd as it sounds, is meaningful to me. Like, I can't delete one of these characters because of my memories playing with them and going through this story. It sounds odd, but this game really did that for me. It created that immersion, where the second one didn't do it. I mean, I have 2 full characters that I soloed all the way full, and then I have a hardcore character that I refuse to play because the game is just so unstable. And then my 4th character, I think I've probably started over like 4 or 5 times because I just don't. I don't know. You know, it's like every day you logged into this game, if you just hang out in the open world, you completed a lot of objectives. You know, like you killed the Rikers and you got stuff for that. But these phones that you pick up,
Dan,
the story that
you
they
stopped
tell,
leaving messages. Why'd you stop leaving messages, Dan?
it makes you feel something,
Tons of things.
and it grabs you. You know, you actually, if you really listen to them, it just makes you think about what it was like being in this scenario. You know, the snow, just everything about this game to me. And that's why I really feel like the people that made 2, never played 1, because they never captured what 1 captured. So the video's like 27 minutes long. I'm not going to talk through all of it. I wanted to just get this out there and show some of the things that on your first playthrough that you establish in the open world that I thought was really, really cool. And And like I said, I'm hoping with the announcement of the new guy that's in charge of the Division franchise, which also was the same guy that pioneered this game, I'm really hoping we can get back to the grittiness that this game was. I mean, I can remember when I first played through, I went into the subway, and there's just piles of body bags. And the eerie feeling of that,
Heads up.
just,
Located
you
a
know,
record
and
store
even the
for
underground, when you go in the underground, there's just something there that tenses you up. You know, the hunters. In the first game, the hunters were no joke. You had to figure out a way to survive from them. And to me, two kind of they made the hunters a joke in two. You have to jump through many hoops just to get them to spawn, and you don't really have a fight. Whereas the first one, you're in the underground, you never know when they're gonna pop up. And when all your stuff gets squiggly, you know there's a hunter. And depending on if you're anticipating it, I remember the first time I went through the underground, I had no idea, and all of a sudden everything got squirrely, and all of a sudden a hunter popped out, two of them, and I mean I got killed, and it wasn't for a while until I figured out the strategy to help. Now you do this, you do jumping jacks. They made it a circus, in my opinion, and the hunters, to me, the hunters are the most dangerous aspect of this game. And I just feel like they tarnished them in 2. So I have most of the masks in 2. I don't have any of the masks in New York because I think the New York map sucks. I can't stand playing in it. It's too cramped. I don't know. It just feels like a small arena compared to this one. But even this game, like, I've heard people compare graphics. I think this game has better graphics than the second one. I think they're sharper. Just overall, the snow. I mean, when the snow is falling, it's on your shoulders. It builds up on your shoulders. You have sections where you can't see because it's snowing so bad. Yeah, they answered that with 2 by putting in sandstorms in the middle of New York as a sandstorm. Makes no sense, but I don't know. I'm really hoping that 3 will kind of bring it back to its roots. And I'm not, like I said, I still play 2, but I'm not a fan of it. I think 1 is a much better game in pretty much all aspects. Like even bringing back when you take over the post office here instead of the White House, just rebuilding that, to me, was better. You're going out and doing open world stuff, and then you go back and you unlock your perks and your skill sets and that kind of stuff. It was more, to me, it was more meaningful, and I think that's kind of the thing that hits me the most, is that this, to me, 1 put more feeling into it. 2 is just a game for me. Just a game. I logged in, I played. There was no connection. It was cool to see some of the characters come back from 1, but it's sad that the connections that you made in 1 with those characters were lost in 2. Like, you just brought them back in, you talked to them a couple times, and that's it. You don't have any more, connection with them. And I feel that's kind of sad, because you built up such an awesome story in the first place. You built a rapport with Fei Lao. They shit all over Fei Lao in the second one. And maybe they'll fix whatever, what they did wrong. But like, Jessica Candle's not in the second one. So I'm waiting to see, which at first I was kind of bummed about it, but then I've seen what they've done with all the other people that they brought in. And it's just, I don't know. Like, it's sad that major people in the first game are just NPCs in the second game that you never talk to. And that's kind of where I go with it. I feel like the first one had so much story to it, character building. I felt like they did everything right. And then when the next team came in to build the second one, they were like, "Oh, that stuff is stupid. We're just gonna make a game." And that's what they did. And I kind of feel that's how I feel. Right or wrong, I don't know. But leave your comment. Let me know. I'm gonna let this play out. I realize it's it's a long game, or a long video, longer than my usuals, but it just I liked this, and I figured maybe it's something you're interested. I'm gonna actually buy a second copy and start another account and play through because I don't want to delete any of these guys. I'm a big fan of all these characters, so I don't want to delete any of the ones I have. So my plan is to basically get another account, buy the game again, and then play through it and go from there. So anyways, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'm going to leave the footage and let it just run through. Feel free to watch it. I appreciate all the interest and anything you do, whether you clicked on a video for the first time, you subscribe because they're free, and just enjoy the content. I appreciate it. So thank you. See you in the next one.
It's Joel. Don't know if these things are getting through. Tell Mom I love her. Tell her I'll be home soon. Dress it up however you... Just make sure she believes it. I don't want her lying, I think. I'm hungry, and Jesus, I'm hungry. I need a fucking pigeon raw if I could catch one. The Sarah people were handing out MREs, but they didn't have enough, and people started getting rough. I didn't, but I can't blame them. Hunger, it gnaws at you, like your brain's eating itself from the inside out. I lied. I got rough, but I got something to eat. You don't need to call me back.
Dispatch to patrol, requesting backup. JTF under heavy fire at the park on 1st. agent. I won't forget what you've done for me.
Without you, we'd have been dead. Hopefully that'll make them think twice about hitting the next JTF.
Got your message. Thanks. I'm glad it was quick, I guess. I wish I could have seen her before. Dan, today I saw these guys on the street, standing around this old man. They wanted his suitcase. They didn't know what was in it, but they wanted it anyway. And he didn't want to give it up. So they knocked him down and started kicking him hard till he passed out. Danny, I was one of them. Get out of town. Put the boys in the car, go to the lake, and take Dad's shotgun. The three of you can live there for months. Do it, Danny. Before it's too late.
Hey, how's your low back? Got a tip from one of the locals about a supply drop he just stumbled upon. Too much for him, or maybe he was just afraid of being a target. But you ain't afraid, right?
Warning. Incoming hostiles. Warning. Incoming hostiles. Warning. Supplies taking fire. Warning. Incoming hostiles. Active echo beacon detected.
Huh. You brought in those supplies and you didn't even skim nothing off the top. Which is good, because we needed those bad.
Readings indicate an echo nearby.
you listen to me. I brought these people out of the dark zone and we were followed. I tried to hold up in a JTF safe house, but the Rikers out there didn't back off. If you don't pull us out, these people are all dead.
It's Lima Charlie Vanguard, but that zone is too hot for extraction. You'll sit tight and wait for their instructions. Angel 6 out.
So that's it? We just wait to die?
Not if I can help it.
Dispatch to patrol. Rikers are holding civilians at the park on East 26, requesting immediate assistance. Great work. Listen, this is a shitty job. But I'm damn grateful I've got people like you on the other end of the wire.
I've got no...
Okay, I can work with this. You've actually got some skills, you know? Generators. I love me some generators. Gonna make this place more stable. Give us some extra power. Thanks, Agent.
Don't mess up, okay?
Just don't see the pattern here.
See you later.